before we get into any openings today, we're gonna be doing something a little bit exciting here. Yeah, I'm kind of excited for this as well. We have received a PSA submission back. Yeah, some of the cards here in this submission were submitted by various people in our community. Some of them from the box opening, from the Neo Discovery box opening, first Ed Neo Discovery box opening. Some of them were submitted by Skylights from his base box opening, as well as I think he got a Charizard, right, from Team Rocket, the first Ed box from the one-out auction. He hit that Charizard as well as we have Fox 808, who I sent a couple of cards for. Yeah, from the community here. You guys know Fox 808. The cards have come back. We have the stack here. Only thing left to do is to reveal them. So we're gonna go ahead and reveal them, check out the grades, as well as maybe analyze the card as well. All right, I know a lot of you guys really enjoyed these. We've done a couple of these streams in the past, as well as we've done some videos on these, and people really seem to enjoy, you know, submission returns. So we'll go ahead and do it right now. First card is the Yanma. Okay, whose Yanma is this? This Yanma is Squirrel Boy's Yanma. I think I got to meet Squirrel Boy at Collecticon. Yeah, I think he's here chat here right now. Alright, this Yanma here. Beautiful, beautiful card. Let's take a look here. Obviously, this card is, I mean, if you're a bug collector, right? Obviously, this is going to be a card you're going to collect. This might actually be one of the grail cards, because this card is extremely hard to get in a high grade. Obviously, a 10 would be insane. Absolutely insane. The prices of these in a 10, right? The rarity of these in a 10 are insane, because the Neos era had very, very difficult times getting high grades. Let's just say that. Quality control wasn't the greatest. So looking at this card here, I can already tell that, you know, centering is definitely not the greatest, right? Right side's a little bit thicker, right? Top bottom's not too bad. I would say bottom is a little bit thicker. Other than that, though, in terms of like print lines, I'm really not seeing any print lines here. Looking on the back here, I do see a little bit here. We see a little bit of whitening, right? Something on the corner there and a little bit of whitening there. Yeah, we do have some dots here. Right, a couple of dots, one dot here and a dot here on the corner. So the corners definitely have a little bit to them, but other than that, obviously this is packed fresh, shouldn't have any dents, shouldn't have any damages. Right, if we got a 9, that would be pretty awesome. I would definitely not categorize this as a card that would have been submitted to try to get a 10. Right, but you know, you never know. I've seen worse cards than this get 10s, so let's see. Aww. It was an 8. Wow, you guys predicted that pretty good. 8-5 actually would have been pretty possible as well. So yeah, so unfortunately an 8 here. Obviously, you know, I think, you know, they could have maybe squeezed you an 8-5, right? Best case scenario, they could have squeezed you a 9 potentially for this card. Yeah, I think they're definitely being, obviously, a little harsh on this here. But, I mean, getting a 10 would be tough, right? Some people believe that certain cards like this that are low population, they believe that PSA, BGS, CGC, they try to pop control, right? They try to make sure there's not too many of them in 10s that are in the population. But, you know, an 8, that's a little rough, right? I would have liked an 8-5 or something. Ah, we got a Houndoom! Definitely a very popular Pokemon. For a long time, I mean, I kind of knew Houndoom was popular, but I never knew the extent of how popular Houndoom is. A lot of people collect Houndooms. It's kind of crazy. Again, you can see the consistency with this card here. You can tell it's from the same box. Left side's a little bit thicker than right. Not a whole lot, right? Within the, you know, within bounds, but, you know, definitely thicker enough where it could be 9-5, right? For, centering. Right, so a little bit thicker on left, bottom about the same, right? I would say the Yanma had a little bit thicker bottom. This one's about even for the top bottom. Back looks pretty good, right? We don't got any dots here. I mean, corners look pretty solid. We got a little bit here. It's not the most perfect of corners, right? We got a little bit there, but other than that, this is pretty solid. Back centering's pretty good as well. This is pretty solid, right? I think a card like this, I mean, obviously centering in front, I've seen worse than that getting a 10. But let's see. Should be a pretty solid 9 though. It is a 9. Alright, it is a 9. I mean, I think there was a time where PSA was grading that this could have been a 10, to be honest. But centering, you can obviously something's up with the centering in the front, but there was a time. I definitely feel this is going to be a 10. But solid 9. I would say this is going to be a very, very solid 9 card here. Beautiful, beautiful. Houndoom here. Just give us one, man. Just give it to us on this Tyranitar. Oh, the Tyranitar, baby. Look at this. Beautiful, dude. Right, this one looks a little better. Left side and right side is actually well centered. I would say maybe top bottom is going to be a little bit thicker, but left to right is actually pretty good for this. We do have a dot on the top left. Oh, we got a little nick here on the bottom right. You see that? A little nick there on the bottom right. Top is good though. Again, this dot is not a part of it. So pretty solid, right? Again, I would say pretty similar to the Houndoom in my personal opinion. right? Looks very good from the front here. Let's see what we got. I'd be shocked if this is a 10. 9. Yeah, we got another 9 here. First Ed Neo Discovery Tyranitar. Very, very iconic holo. Very nice. Very nice. Alright, let's keep going here. Next one we got is the Ursaring. Alright, let's see here. Left, right looks pretty good. Top, bottom, pretty good too for this card. Alright, let's check out the back here. We got a little bit of edge wear, just a little, but not, yeah, a little bit of edge wear just at the top. I don't know if you guys can see it well in this angle here, but corners look rounded, right? Edges look pretty good, except for that one spot. This is not a dent. This is actually on the plastic on the outside. So it's a pretty solid card. I think this has a chance. This has a chance of potentially hitting it. Let's see. Oh, we got a little half swore on the bottom too. And we could probably guess it's gonna be a 9. Yeah. Okay. PSA 9, Ursaring from Neo Discovery. All right, fortuitous. Yeah, I do still hope you enjoyed the joining in for the breaks, and hopefully you're gonna be able to add this into your memories, yeah, into your collection as a memory. Yeah, the opening we had, man. Yeah, congrats on getting a 9. All right, next card here. Let's take a look. Okay. Okay. So this is actually going to be one of Fox's cards, right? If you guys don't know Fox 808, he has a lot of, cards in his collection. He's collected for a long time. He actually had 2 Shadowless Charizards that he wanted to get graded. Both of them were not in good shape, okay? They were definitely nowhere near mint. Nowhere near any of that. So they were definitely a little bit roughed up, but I told him it's still worth it for a Shadowless Zard to be, graded, right? And to be put into a case, and he decided, okay, fine, I wanted to do it. So he decided, he would like to send it in, so I submitted it with these, and we got them back. As you can see, this is very off-centered. I told him also this could be, sent in for like OC grading, but we didn't submit it as OC grading. PSA used to do a lot of OC grading, which is off-centered, right? I think this had a maybe better chance of getting a higher grade in OC, but they've been really tough on OC. They haven't been giving out OC as much. It almost looks like an e-reader, yeah. Definitely, I can tell you some issues with this card because I did get to examine it pretty well. It definitely has surface scratches. It definitely has some very, very bad centering. You're going to see on the back here as well, right? We definitely have some scuffs you see on the edges there. All the corners here. I mean, I guess it's kind of hidden here, right? This actually makes it look better since it's in this case, but the corners and the edges were all a little bit roughed up. So my predictions on a card like this was, I was predicting something low, anywhere from the 5 to 7 range was for both of them, right? Both of them were around the 5 to 7 range was my prediction for them. Anything more, anything less would be extremely shocking. So let's see what he got here for this first one. You got a 5. Okay, you got a 5 for this one here. All right, obviously, centering has a big issue, and like I said, there's a lot of, you can't see this very well, but, there's a lot of surface scratches, right? Little micro scratches. A lot of times when you guys have old cards in your collection, you used to play with them, put them in and out of binders. Those actually cause little micro scratches, and over time, it can get worse and worse, and obviously, they'll put it on the microscope, and they'll see all those different scratches, and that'll play a role in the grade for the surface. So, got a 5, which, still very solid. Yeah, very nice. I mean, getting into the case, it will definitely be more worth it than having the card raw. So, definitely a beautiful card here. He's probably going to end up selling this, so if anybody is interested in this, you guys can go ahead and hit up Fox808 in Discord. He is probably going to be selling this here, right? This PSA 5 Shadowless Charizard, right? So feel free to send a message, let him know your Twitch name, and let him know maybe what your offer is for the 5, if you wanted the 5. Like I said, he has one more here. It should be the next one. It is, right? This one here, as you can see, is better centering, right? Obviously, top is a little... Actually, top bottom's not too bad. I would say left side is a little thinner. Right side's a little thicker. Again, this also had an extreme amount of micro scratches, but I think this one was the one that was a little bit... yeah, look at that. Look at all that edge wear. All right. So, let's see what this turns out to be. I mean, the centering is better on this one, though, right? The surface was about the same for both of them. But let's take a look here. This one got a 6. Right, so I'm assuming, right, paired up with the centering being better on this left one, and I think this one might have been the one with a little bit better surface, yeah, not having as many scratches, actually ended up getting a higher grade than this 5 here, which this 5, right, as you can see, the edges don't look too bad, but this 6 here, the edges look pretty bad, right? And I think that's an important thing. That's actually a really good example of how all the different grading criterias sum up together to a grade of a card, right? It's not just centering, right? Which a lot of people gauge the, you know, condition of a card is just centering, right? Ah, it's not bad centering. It's a PSA 7, right? Centering, surface, edges, corners. Those are the 4 main criteria, and all of those combined, right, will give you the grade. Right, so even this one, obviously centering looks bad, but you know, edges look really good. This one has centering looks better, but edges look really bad. Ends up being a higher grade than this one. Right, so PSA 5 and a PSA 6 here. Both will be available if you guys are interested in purchasing from Fox. Yeah. Alright, up next is base set Charizard. We got 3 Charizards in a row. Alright, base set Charizard here. Now, I believe it's gonna be the Charizard, Blastoise, Venusaur. These are the 3 that we pulled from Skylight's base set opening. We did a New Year's opening with Skylights. He opened all the heavy packs. He got 1 of each starter. I sent them in to get graded, and they should be sequentially graded here. So let's see how this does. Obviously, a 10 of this would be amazing. This was a pack fresh card here. Taking a look at this here, top is a little thicker, right is a little thicker. Just by a little bit, though. Just by a little bit, not by a whole lot, but definitely a little bit. You guys might have a harder time seeing depending on the angle here. I'm assuming the surface should be pretty solid for this. Let's take a look at the corners here. Corners and edges look really good. I would say, if anything, maybe this right corner, it's sticking out a little bit. It's not as rounded as we'd want it to be, but that's nitpicking there. Solid, right? If anything, just a little bit of centering in the front. So let's see what this is here. If I had to guess, with the way this is going, probably a 9. But if this is a 9, this is a very strong 9. It is a 9, right? Another case of potential pop control, because this is pretty solid. All right, this is pretty solid of a card here. Pack fresh, and I mean, pack fresh doesn't mean you're going to be getting a 10, right? Pack fresh means you got a fresh card, right? You got a good chance depending on how it was printed, how it was cut, and this card is actually very, very solid. So this in my personal opinion here is a very, very solid 9, right? Could have easily potentially been a 10, but I think this is a very, very, very strong 9. Very, very strong 9. Yeah, I would say maybe corners. Yeah, corners. This would, like, if this had like subgrades for like BGS or CGC, right? I think this would potentially have some 10 subgrades and some 9.5 subgrades in here, or 9, maybe 9 subgrades somewhere, but yeah, 9.5 subgrades. So this is a pretty strong 9. Okay, this is gonna be the Blastoise here. Obviously, we can see some centering issues right off the bat. Left side is a little thicker, right? Top is definitely thicker than the bottom here, so we definitely have some centering issues to begin with. Again, we're just gonna make the assumption that the surface, right, was pretty solid since it was packed fresh. Corners and edges look very, very good. Look just like the Charizard there. Yeah, everything looks pretty solid, just like that Charizard there. So if I had a prediction here, I would say this is probably gonna be like a 9, right? Like an okay 9, right? Definitely not gonna be a card that's gonna be a 10 here. I'm hoping it's a 9, that we can get all 3 of them in 9s. That'd be kind of cool. It is a 9. Yeah, we got a 9. Beautiful. All right, so we're going with the trend here. We got the sequential grading. We got 36, 35, and should be 34 coming up next here. Let's see. Let's see. It is the Venusaur. Yeah, it's the 3rd of the trios here. I mean, at this point, if this gets a 10, that'd be nice, but if it's a 9, that'd be kind of cool. Sequential graded, and they're all 9, so, you know, it's my OCD probably kicking in, but... Centering looks pretty good, right? Top, bottom, left, right. This is actually the pretty good centering. This is actually really, really solid centering here for front side. Let's take a look at the back here. Back side, top is a little thicker on back. A lot of people don't realize this, but oftentimes when you're looking at cards, the front centering is going to be a little bit different from the back centering. You can have front centering that's like perfect and really good, and back centering that's not as good. Kind of weird, right? When you think of it, you're like, shouldn't the front and the back be the same? And vice versa. So keep that in mind here. Obviously, back centering is not going to be considered as much as front centering. But again, corners and edges. Maybe the edge of this one here, we got a little something here poking out on the right, on the top right. But again, beautiful looking card here, right? Could be a 10, but I mean, probably 9. It is a 9, right? Venusaur 9. So we do get the whole set here, sequentially graded Skylights, right? All in PSA 9. I think that's beautiful. Anytime you can get all same grades, right, for a particular set and sequentially graded, it's kind of cool. Yeah, let's see what we got next here. Oh, we got a first ed, what is it, Zapdos here, okay. If you guys remember, there was an anonymous person, not gonna say the person's name, there was an anonymous person that we did a video, right? If you guys go back on the channel, yeah, on the YouTube channel, we did a video. It was an anonymous person that opened up my heavy first ed base set pack. This is the Zapdos that was pulled. Right, and as you can see, it got a pretty thick bottom. Obviously, maybe a little bit harder to see because the card's yellow, but it definitely got a little bit thicker bottom here. But we like thick bottoms, you know what I'm saying? First edition basic Zapdos. Let's take a look at the back here. Corners and edges look good. Actually, these last couple of cards have been very solid in terms of corners and edges. I mean, that's what you expect and you would hope to expect from pack fresh cards, right? Only thing is going to be the centering in the front here. So obviously, I mean, we'll give our prediction of a 9. I would be very shocked if it's anything lower. If it's an 8 or God forbid a 7 or something like that, then it's got to be something wrong with the surface, but I hope not. It is a 9. Alright, first edition base set Zapdos. PSA 9. Now that anonymous person might have to collect all of them in a 9. Alright, I mean, that might be a good thing because it'll definitely be a lot cheaper collecting first ed base set in 9s than it is 10s, right? The Charizard 10 is insanely more expensive. So now you can collect the whole set as a 9 potentially. Okay. We got 2 more cards here. Let's do this. This is Skylights once again here. Alright, this is Skylight's first edition Dark Charizard with that beautiful swirl. Look at that. Right above the fist. This was opened in our first edition Team Rocket box opening. It was the last pack in the Whatnot auction. Alright, the last pack in the Whatnot auction. And he actually hit this card here. This one looked pretty solid. The only thing was I did remember, centering is pretty solid. Left, right's really good. Top, bottom, I would say top's just a little bit bigger, but, you know, not by much, right? Not by much, just very little. I did notice on this card, because I do remember analyzing this card, the bottom of this card here had issues with the edge. The bottom edge was pretty rough cut. Oftentimes when they cut these cards and they get these cards, you know, prepared and sliced and put into packs, you know, there's sometimes issues with the cards that's consistent throughout. And I did notice you can't see it as much here, right? But I did mark down and I did note that there was definitely a very rough edge, yeah, for the bottom on this. So, I did not believe that it would get a high grade, right? I mean, hoping for a 9, right? Actually hoping for a 9. If it's an 8 or anything lower, that wouldn't be good. But hoping for a 9 for this particular card, since I do remember this. And we do get a 9. Okay. First edition Dark Charizard. PSA 9. I love this swirl, man. Such a good swirl placement. I guess maybe it was a little bit lower, close to his hand. That'd be freaking dope. Or inside of his hand. That'd be pretty nice. Alright, let's see. What's this last card here? I do not remember what this last card is. Oh, it's the Espeon. Okay. This Espeon here is for Crazy Chick. Right? I actually offered Crazy Chick to grade her card, right, as a gift. Yeah, so I graded this card for Crazy Chick as a gift. Yeah, and I do remember this Espeon here being a very good contender for a 10. Yeah, it just depends on what PSA had for lunch that day. Like, seriously, you know, I make that joke all the time. It just depends on what PSA had for lunch. I did mark down that this was a very, very solid contender, right, for being a 10. And this thing on a 10 is insane. First edition Neo Discovery Espeon, probably one of the most iconic here. As you can see, left, right, centering, pretty solid. Top, bottom, very solid. It's a beautiful card, right? And as you can see, we never had really that much issue with surface because these are all packed fresh. Backside, as you can see, we did have this 1 dot, but I did assume, and I have seen many 10s that just had 1 dot. You know, so I thought it had a chance. Maybe I'm just being too optimistic, but I was hoping that this one would be a 10 here, right? It'd be an amazing story. It'd be an amazing memory. It'd be an amazing gift as well if this ended up being a 10 here. Alright. Good luck, Crazy Chick. Ended up being a 9. Yeah, ended up being a 9, unfortunately. But I would like to say that this is probably a very, very strong 9. It's really frustrating to say that if these were graded a couple of years ago, that a majority, if not a lot of these 9s would have been 10s. Isn't that weird? You know, I think oftentimes when we talk about grading cards, the thing that's important to me is I don't care how harsh or how, you know, lenient a grading company is. Whether it's CGC, BGS, PSA, doesn't matter, right? It's the consistency that I would like to see, right? Like, if you're gonna grade hard, that's fine. But continue to grade hard throughout the lifetime of your grading company's career, right? That's it. If you're gonna grade easy, that's fine too. But I think the consistency is the most important. I don't think anybody is going to, you know, dock you down for being too harsh or too lenient. But people will definitely bash and be upset about inconsistencies. So, you know, seeing a lot of these cards come back and a lot of people getting their cards back and seeing some of the 10s and the 9s and, you know, especially for PSA and a lot of, you know, CGC and BGS as well is a little bit frustrating that there are inconsistencies in the way they grade and, you know, the parameters and the criteria that they have for grading over the, let's just say the last 5 years. I want to say decade, but let's just say 5 years. Yeah, for kind of the short term. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this return here. We do have some other cards that have been submitted to both CGC and PSA, so maybe we'll do another review in the future. We'll probably put this up on YouTube as well, so leave us some comments down below. Let me know some of your thoughts on some of the things that we discussed here about the grading companies. And yeah, make sure you guys subscribe, hit that like, and see you guys on the next live stream or video. Peace.